Baseball on My9.
In this town, you have to earn everything. Nothing is handed to you, and you certainly won't get any sympathy. Living here isn't for everybody. We have the best the world has to offer. Success is in our blood. We expect our athletes to win, and win now. No excuses, just results. 3,000! But it's not just the win, it's how you win. Win with character, with class.
Johan Santana has pitched a no-hitter!
Because that's how things are done here in New York. We just don't know any other way. Subway Series, round 1, next. The subway is rolling into 161st Street and River Avenue, the site of Yankee Stadium. That is a flawed family right there. That's a fight waiting to happen. But that's what this weekend is about. Yankees against the Mets, as My9 presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Mets against the New York Yankees in the first of 3 in an interleague series from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. You know what? This is fun again because the Mets come in and they're very, very good. And the Yankees obviously hanging right there despite some of the issues they've had. Take a look at these numbers. They're remarkably similar. The Mets have 1 more win and 1 more loss. They score about the same. Average, the Yankees are higher. The Yankees hit way more home runs. And the Mets pitching, 4.19. The Yankees, 3.96. The Yankees a half game back in the AL East. The Mets a game and a half back in the National League East. Now, starting for the Yankees tonight is going to be Hiroki Kuroda. And Hiroki Kuroda, you never know what you're going to get. He's almost like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, I mean, will the real Hiroki Kuroda please stand up? And tell you what, he could use a little help, too. I mean, he hasn't pitched that poorly, but he hasn't had a lot of support. But the key with Kuroda is getting out of the gate quickly, throwing strikes, establishing that fastball. You see up and in, then he can expand that zone and use his splitter. But if Kuroda gets a few runs to work with, too, that'll take a little pressure off of him. And maybe he can get on a bit of a run because he has yet to win back-to-back starts this year.
Take a look at how different his starts are. The previous 2 starts, 0-2, 8.71. Now the last 2, he's been so much better, 1-0, 1.20. 4 home runs in the previous 2, just 1 home run allowed in the last 2. So which one do we see? Not sure. And the other side, wow. Johan Santana has been outstanding. A week ago this Friday, he pitched a no-hitter. We'll explain what he's doing and what he's up against when we come back on My9. Everybody, let's take a look at tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. Hiroki Kuroda will go for the Yankees 4-6, 3.82. Johan Santana 3-2, 2.38. Now, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what Santana has to go through after pitching a no-hitter. That's David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. I don't know what it's like to pitch a no-hitter. You pitched a perfect game. Now, pitching the game is obviously arduous as well. But everything that comes after it, it kind of gets distracting.
It can be distracting. You know, I could have used about a month off after I threw my perfect game. I mean, emotionally, Santana, but what a historic night for him. You know, everything that goes with the Mets and their organization. The first guy to do it, but How about Mayor Bloomberg calling you the next day, or David Letterman, or all the whirlwind press tour that he's had to go on, since throwing that no-hitter. Everybody wants a piece of Johan right now, and I'm glad he's got a couple extra days rest. Like I said, I could have used at least a month off after my perfect game. We'll see how that affects him tonight.
What's bigger, that or coming off 134 pitches?
Yeah, I'm not so worried about the pitch count, tell you the truth. I think that 2 days rest is probably enough for him, and they gave him a little time just to catch his breath and maybe give his arm time to recover. But emotionally, mentally, everything that's riding tonight after what he's been through, it's so distracting. It's easy to get caught up in everything off the field, much less what he did on the field.
That's going to be good. It's going to be fun. Big weekend here at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees and the Mets. You know the names. You know the faces. You know what they can do. We have the lineups. First pitch, baseball. Yankees, Mets, next, right here on My 9. Warm-ups, and we're taking a look at the Mets starting lineup brought to you by Lincoln. Trade up to luxury during the Lincoln Exchange sales event. Kurt Neuenhuis, the center fielder, will lead off, batting second and catching Josh Tolley. Red hot David Wright, the third baseman, hits third, cleaning up the DH Lucas Duda. Daniel Murphy's at second base, he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Scott Hairston. Ike Davis, terrible slump all year. He's at first base, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, first game back, left fielder Jason Bay. And Omar Quintanilla is the shortstop. He's going to bat ninth.
Kuroda's finishing up his warm-ups. As we noted in the pregame show, his last two starts have been good. This will be number 12 on the year, 4-6. The ERA's pretty decent. 22 walks. His strikeouts are down. I'd like to see a few more strikeouts, 41 and 68 in the third inning.
Now let's take a look at the New York Yankees pitcher scouting report brought to you by Blimpie, America's sub shop.
And it is get out of the gate. He's allowed 12 first inning runs this year in his 11 starts. That's a problem. I think that's set the tone, and if he can get some help and get some runs and some run support as opposed to giving up runs in the first inning, I think that will help him immensely. He's only got 2.9 runs of support this year, which is second lowest in the American League to Dan Herron of the Angels. And extra rest, I talk about extra rest a lot. I know I'm harping on it a little bit, but this is his seventh start with 5 days rest, and up to this point, he's 4-1 with a 1.44 ERA when he gets that extra day rest. So maybe there is something to it.
Well, the Mets are familiar with Kuroda from his days with the Dodgers, and he doesn't have great numbers against the Mets. 1-5 with a 5.75 ERA. So the beginning of the first Subway Series of the year. Neuenhuis is ready, so is Kuroda, and let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Yankees just took 2 out of 3 against the Rays. The Mets lost 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. 1-1. Neuenhuis, one of the Mets that out of nowhere, never really heard of him. Not a highly thought of prospect, but here he is hitting .293 with a lot of injuries. He's gotten a chance and made the most of it. 1-2.
Good left-handed hitter. He's played all 3 outfield positions as well, so he's got versatility to go with that good left-handed bat.
Granderson shades toward left center. He's very shallow as well for Neuenhuis. The 1-2. 2-2.
Would expect Kuroda and Martin to be very aggressive against this Mets lineup, who take a lot of pitches. Really try to work the count.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Martin gathers, fires. A strikeout, put out 2-3. So one down. And that's going to bring up Josh Thole. Thole went on the DL on May 8th with a concussion. And it took until June 1st for him to get back, and he's been hot since. 7 for 23 since his return, which is a decent average, 283. And he was behind the plate a week ago to catch Santana's no-hitter. Count 1-0.
The Mets just played the Rays for 3 games, and just a completely different approach offensively for the Rays and the Mets. The Rays led the league in swinging at first pitches over 30% of the time. The Mets on the other end of the spectrum, they only swing at that first pitch 20% of the time, which is the fewest in the National League. So completely different approach offensively for the Mets.
Grounded to Cano. 2 outs. Moments ago in the bleachers, Bald Vinny leading the bleacher creatures in the roll call. And right above him in the white t-shirt is Antoine Jameson. Most recently of the NBA Cavaliers, taking place in the bleachers. Antoine Jameson, a new bleacher creature, part of the roll call, and they called him as well. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up David Wright. Wright hitting .362, on base percentage .464, and he is having some season. Went back to basics during the offseason, worked with one of his earliest hitting coaches. Got rid of a lot of extraneous movement and really see the ball hit the ball, and he's certainly done that. Impressive numbers, all-star numbers. And he's become the leader of the team. Some felt when he was younger was somewhat reluctant to do that with veterans around, also reluctant to do it with Jose Reyes around because they're both of the same stature. But now Reyes signed as a free agent with the Marlins, and Wright is the man. 2-2.
Yeah, the Mets ownership, the Wilpon family, has made it known that there will be an offer coming David Wright's way in terms of free agency.
Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by the all-new Lexus RX F Sport. Now the Mets have an option on Wright for next year at $16 million, so in all likelihood they'll pick that up. Why wouldn't they? And Wright said he did not want to negotiate a contract in the middle of the season, so they'll have to wait till the offseason. He said he doesn't want to distract from what the Mets are doing on the field, and the Mets are 32-26. 2-2. Popped up, shallow right. Backpedaling is Cano, called off by Swisher, and a 1-2-3 inning for Hiroki Kuroda. Mets nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat against Johan Santana. New York City turning into a lovely evening as well. So the Mets go down in order against Kuroda, and here is the no-hit man, Johan Santana, and this is a Yankee lineup that will face him, brought to you by McDonald's. Enjoy a fresh brewed premium roast coffee from McDonald's, any size, just $1. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second, playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll hit third. Cleaning up, third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second base will bat fifth. The number 6 hitter, right fielder Nick Swisher, batting seventh and DHing Andrew Jones. Raul Ibanez in left field will hit eighth, and batting ninth and catching Russell Martin.
And there he is, coming off a historic night and a great comeback. That ERA 2.38, I think the second lowest in the National League. The batting average against 200 really stands out. 68 strikeouts in 68 innings too.
Let's take a look at the New York Mets pitcher scouting report, brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Not only historic, it was unique. He threw 134 pitches, only 77 strikes, and 5 walks in that no-hitter. And sleepaway camp, well, you know, he pitches at home more than he pitches on the road. That's why we call it sleepaway camp. He's only got 19 2/3 innings on the road this year and a 5.03 ERA, as opposed to 48 innings pitched at home this year. And no love for lefties. Lefties just hitting 148 off of him this year with no home runs.
He will be watched closely after throwing 134 pitches. It wrenched the heart of the manager, Terry Collins, but he felt that it was the thing to do as Jeter fouls it away. Why? Because the Mets had never had a no-hitter in their history. The no-hitter that Santana threw came in their 8,020th game as a franchise, and the Mets had thrown 26 complete game one-hitters prior to Santana's no-hitter. Jeter in a little bit of a slump, hitless in his last 13 at-bats. But the right tonic for Jeter could be the New York Mets. 381 batting average lifetime against them, the highest average for any active player against any team. And Derek has very good numbers against Santana as well, 15 for 33. The 0-2. Swing and miss. Jeter down on strikes.
Well, it's all arm action. The grip takes care of the changeup. It looks like it's floating up out over the plate. It just never gets there as Jeter cannot wait and see how far out in front. A high changeup, not necessarily great location, but good deception.
Not only did Santana throw 134 pitches last time, as Granderson lost one to left center, and the left fielder Bay makes a play. His career high in pitches thrown was 125. And to make matters worse, and you see opponents are now 0 for their last 31, longest hitless streak of his career. He's coming off major shoulder surgery, so all of those components made that a very difficult decision for Collins.
Well, it was, you know, Michael, you and I talked about it, and Terry Collins was very emotional, you know, almost welling up or crying a little bit about putting Johan Santana in that position, but there would have been a riot over at Citi Field if he took him out of that game.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Missed outside. Mark 3 hits in his last 25 at-bats. Fouled away. Yankees in interleague play against the Mets, 49-35. Last year they were 4-2 against the Mets. And in games played against the Mets, Mayor's Trophy, spring training, the whole deal, World Series 114-81. You know, some thought would the Yankee fans give Santana a hand when he went on the mound. I didn't sense that at all, and I didn't sense any booing either. 3-1. Could not hold up. 3-2. Well, his money pitch is his changeup, and what you need with an effective changeup is a differentiation of about 10 miles per hour. So he doesn't throw his fastball as hard, but there's still that 10 mile per hour difference, and that's all you need. 3-2. Right down the middle, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, a 10-pitch first inning for Johan Santana as he retires the Yankees in order. Coming up, Lucas Duda against Kuroda. With 1, 2, 3 innings, and Santana did it on 10 pitches. We go to the second. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the Met order. Duda, Murphy, and Hairston. 1-0. Duda with 10 home runs, 35 ribbies. He's a DH tonight. Usually plays right field for the Mets, and he's not a great defender. So probably the perfect spot for him would be DH. Can play some first base as well. New York Yankees baseball broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota. When you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. The 1-1. 2-1. Kuroda with the Dodgers. Interleague play, not too good. 3-8, 4.33. But remember, facing American League teams, it might turn around here pitching for an American League team against National League teams. Probably the most high-profile game that Kuroda has pitched this year, the home opener here at the stadium, and he did not get unnerved by the scope of the event. Seemed calm and cool. Three and 2. Great shot of the 4 coming right at you.
Coming and going.
It really is a great way to get to the ballpark. Very efficient. 3-2. Strike 3. Duda down looking.
Very crafty. You see on a 3-2 pitch, Kuroda decides to just break out a little slider. Almost like a cutter. It looked like it was going to be away. Just like the 4 train. Looked like it's away, and here it comes. Got the benefit of a good call there, too.
Got the high strike from Chris Guccione. Here's Daniel Murphy. Pitch outside. Murphy, a 290 hitter. Looking for his first home run. He has 23 runs batted in. Grounded to first. Teixeira will beat him to the bag for the second out.
Good signs for Kuroda so far in these first few hitters. The splitter's been down in the zone. He's been able to establish a breaking ball and get a called third strike. And I think that's the key with Kuroda. When he gets that splitter down, it's very effective. He's been burned when he leaves his break-em stuff and his off-speed stuff up in the zone. Prone to give up home runs, especially coming from the National League West to the American League East.
Here's Scott Hairston, 282 with 8 home runs and 24 ribbies. He's been good off the bench, pinch hitting for the Mets, and spot starting as well. Ground ball to Jeter. And another 1-2-3 inning as the Mets go down in order. Who's coming up for the Yankees? A-Rod will start it off, then Cano and Swisher. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Chase deposit checks from your smartphone. With Chase Quick Deposit, take a step forward and chase what matters. And by Verizon Fios, get Verizon Fios for the internet that can handle everything you do online, no matter how many devices you use. Alex Rodriguez takes a strike, and the bottom of the second is underway. Alex Rodriguez did not meet with the media yesterday, as the lottery scoreboard shows no score. After the game, he did make a throwing error that led to 2 runs, but I don't think he had anything to be upset about with his 5th inning at bat against David Price. I talked to a lot of people today, and they thought that that was an unbelievable at bat. I was up here with you, David, and John Flaherty. You both thought that was a great at bat, that sometimes the pitcher just wins out.
Sometimes the pitcher wins, and he really did battle. You could see David Price just turn it up a notch in that 5th inning. What an exciting at bat, and that was the game right there. that situation, and David Price laid it all on the line, and he was out after 5 innings. But sometimes the game's won and lost in the 5th inning like that.
Count 3-2. Alex, 1 hit in his last 10 at bats. Does not have great numbers against Santana, just 5 for 21, but 2 of the 5 home runs. (3-2), and A-Rod walks. Extended coverage of this Subway Series continues this weekend on the YES Network. Tomorrow, after the nationally broadcast game on Fox, turn to YES for in-depth post-game analysis with Tri-State Ford extra innings. And Sunday, complete game coverage starts at noon with Audi batting practice today and the Tri-State Ford pregame only on YES. So Alex Rodriguez walked. He's now walked in 5 straight games. And here is Robinson Cano. I dug up a quiz for you, David. Santana not only pitched a no-hitter his last time out, but he's now pitched 2 straight shutouts. You know the last Met pitcher to pitch 2 straight shutouts?
The last one?
Mm-hmm. That one's drilled deep to right field. The shutout streak is over. Johnny Vandermeer is safe. See ya. Home run for Cano, a 2-run shot. It's 2-0 Yankees.
Good strategy by Cano after the walk to Rodriguez. You look for the first heater right there. Santana trying to go down and away. And ends up and in the stands.
Tonight's Sweet Swing in the Game brought to you by Hershey Park. Ride the edge with Sky Rush this year only at Hershey Park. Sweet swing indeed. Johnny Vandermeer is the only pitcher in the history of baseball to throw 2 straight no-hitters. So that mark is safe. First home run allowed to a left-handed batter this season. And he's only allowed 2 in his last 27 starts. So you don't know who the last Met pitcher with 2 straight shutouts?
I think I might.
You have a mirror? It's you.
I remember 1992, a long time ago.
One against San Diego and one against San Francisco, both of them in late May.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole talk about Santana throwing 134 pitches. It took me 166 pitches to throw that San Francisco shutout.
Really? And how were you the next game?
166. And then they traded me to Toronto. Well, not exactly after that game.
They sold high.
They sold high. I was 3-2 on everybody, Michael.
Did you feel it more after that sort of start with 166 than you do a 120 start?
I didn't really feel it that much. No, I mean, you know, we'll talk about it a little bit, but
swing and a miss.
I felt it later in the game. You know, when I first started the game, you know, I was fine, and then as the game went on, I did start to wear down a little quicker after that kind of a high pitch count.
Well, the start after you went 166, you lasted 6 innings, you gave up 5 runs, and you threw 132 pitches in 6 innings.
Yeah, they gave me a break, only 132.
What was Davey and Mel thinking?
They were long gone by then.
Yeah, who was the manager in '92?
Jeff Torborg.
And who was the pitching coach?
Mel was gone by then too. It was, you know, I should know this, shouldn't I? Who was my pitching coach? Yeah, we hired and fired. The Mets went through some hires and fires there. And when Davey Johnson left, Buddy Harrelson took a shot at managing.
This is going to bug you who the pitching coach is. the 2-0. 3-0.
I know Dave LaRoche was there, but I think he was the bullpen coach.
Those two seem very serene right now. They just love the game and their team. There's a strike. Hammered foul.
Little birdie just whispered in my ear. It was Bob Apodaca, pitching coach.
Wow. Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for Santana. It wasn't the same birdie that got Flaherty, was it?
No.
Here's Raul Ibanez. They say he held up. That's Bill Welke over at third.
Well, you made an interesting point, Michael, about Santana's style. You know, when he was with Minnesota, he used to throw 93, 94, even up in the mid-90s with his fastball. But all you have to do is subtract on your secondary pitches. That changeup, he can throw it in the mid-70s now. Along with that slider, too. So 89 on the fastball down to the mid-70s with the changeup and upper 70s with the slider. So plenty of variation there.
Santana's shoulder surgery was serious stuff. He missed all of last year repairing the capsule of the shoulder. There aren't too many pitchers that have been able to come back from that. I know that Jorge Posada had that similar surgery. Didn't have to throw nearly as much as a pitcher. But Santana has rehabbed with great determination, and he's pitching well. There's a base hit to right field. Hairston cuts over. He's playing deep. Gets the ball in, so a 2-out single for Ibanez.
Setting up in. Comes right back out over the plate. Ibanez is on it. You can see the horseshoe grip. We talked about that last night. It's a classic slider grip. Tries to front door that slider. Started off right at Ibanez to get it over the inside corner. Instead, he misses his location, and Ibanez is able to just stay back enough and hook it into right field.
Count 1-0 to Russell Martin. Russell 9 hits in his last 22 at bats, pushing that average up to respectability. Spent so much of the season on the interstate. Hit a home run in last night's game the other way, which is always a good sign. Count 1-1.
If you're on the Yankee bench, you're paying close attention to that pitch count by Johan Santana, because you definitely want to get into that Mets pen.
Terry Collins actually tipped his hand, said that Santana would not go more than 115 today. And since May 22nd, David, the Mets bullpen is 0-4 with a 6.38 ERA. Overall, they're last in ERA, last in batting average against, and 12 blown saves, the most. Base hit down the left field line. Cutting over his bay. Ibanez will go to third. Going to second is Martin. The throw gets away, but backing up is Davis, and Ibanez stays at third. So a double for Martin, a hustle double.
Hustle double, and this is how you do it. Right out of the box, you got to smell it and go. Fastball didn't quite get in there. Martin's been swinging so much better, and you see Bay here, a good throw, probably gets Martin at second base, but just too much of a short hop. David Murphy can't come up with it. Bay's been on the DL, but if you're going to throw it all the way there in the air, get it there, or otherwise get it down and get a good one hop. This is the in-between variety, and Martin never hesitates. But he's in trouble right there with a good throw.
So second and third, big spot right here with Jeter at the plate. Derek is 0 for his last 14. Nice play by Terry Collins in the Met dugout.
Santana choosing to go from the windup here with runners on second, third, and 2 outs. I made that same decision in the first Subway Series and ended up walking in a run.
How do you determine which way to go there, set or wind?
Strictly a comfort level. You know, it's deception. Santana feels more comfortable from the windup. Maybe feels like he can hide his pitches a little better. I think with the runner, Michael, back in 1997. Tight game. I chose to go from the windup, and he broke towards home, and I flinched.
Chopped right back to Santana, and he gets Jeter for the final out.
But the Yankees are on the board. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, 2 men left. The big hit, though, a 2-run home run by Robinson Cano. We're going to go to the third. Bottom third of the Met order. Yankees lead 2-0. A 2-run home run has given the Yankees a 2-0 lead. Nice crowd here at the ballpark. Bottom third of the Met order coming up against Hiroki Kuroda. Yankees 2 runs on 3 hits, and the Mets have not gotten a base runner yet over the first 2. As we move along here in the third inning, we are joined by Whit Haskell, Vice President of Marketing for Fox Soccer. How you doing, Whit?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. It's a thrill to be here.
Now, you guys at Fox Soccer, you've been really
heavy into the Euro coverage, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're America's premier soccer destination, and we're home to Champions League and Premier League properties. And with respect to Euro, it's not on our network, but we cover it in all aspects. We've got people on the ground over there. We've got a nightly show called Fox Soccer Report, which will carry all the goals and all the coverage around the games and the storylines. And then we have foxsoccer.com, which is the most visited soccer website in the country. Very active, and we have grassroots mobile viewing parties going on across the country in 8 different cities as well. So we're pretty busy. We're excited about this tournament. It's a very, very important tournament, and we're thrilled to be covering it for all the soccer people out there.
Now, are you part of the bus tour that's been around the city today? Are
Yeah.
you behind the wheel of the bus?
I was not behind the wheel of the bus, thankfully. We took out a couple of corners there. It's a massive bus. I was in the bus entertaining and enjoying the game. It was a terrific kickoff. Poland-Greece game. A lot of activity, red cards, blocked penalty kicks. Just a terrific game.
Ike Davis swings and misses. His struggles continue. Now, soccer is actually going to come here to Yankee Stadium, and everybody is really excited. Big games. You have Chelsea against PSG, because I'm not going to try to pronounce that last word there.
Same here.
And then Real Madrid against AC Milan. And Fox Soccer is going to actually broadcast the July 22nd game, right?
We're thrilled to have that game. I mean, the first game in this stadium and the first game in a Yankee Stadium since the 1970s, since the Cosmos played here, and Pele and Beckenbauer were in the old stadium. So we are so thrilled to have it on Fox Soccer, and it's going to be a terrific night here.
The 0-1 to Jason Bay as he returns off the DL. He's been back for 2 days, but he's been ill, so he has not played in the previous 2. So he is the left fielder batting 8th today for the Mets. Been out with a rib cage injury on the left side. And the 1-1. 2-1. Is soccer, in your mind, taking a foothold here in the United States? Because you always compare it to the top 3 sports. Right. And maybe that's unfair because the top 3 sports in this country are so established. What's your take on soccer here?
You have to look at a couple different things. I mean, if you look at the different networks that are carrying the game, like Fox, for example, I mean, ratings are up across the board for all the properties. More people want to watch it. Then you look at Major League Soccer, where I worked for over a decade, and that league is thriving. Got new stadiums being built, incredible expansion teams joining the league, and the level of play is increasing. It's improving dramatically. So, and then you look at the youth game, which is flourishing. A lot of people, millions and millions of people playing. It's a big business, and hopefully we're developing the next Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey, and we can win the World Cup one day. And it's a very exciting time for the game.
Well, it must be doing well if Fox is devoting an entire channel to it.
Well, actually, we have 2 channels: Fox Soccer and Fox Soccer Plus, which is a premium network. Yeah, it's very, very exciting, and Fox has brought the game onto the network on Fox Sports. We've had 5 different games, Premier League games on the network, all done very, very well. And then we just had the Champions League final, which featured Chelsea, of course, winning it on Fox Sports just a few weeks ago. So it's a very exciting time.
So we look forward to July 22nd, the first soccer game here at the new ballpark, Chelsea and PSG, and it's going to be on Fox Soccer as Quintanilla pops it up.
Yeah, I would expect big crowds here at Yankee Stadium for that event. I'm trying to get tickets myself. Can you hook me up?
I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, when a club of that stature, I mean, with the players that it has, many of whom are participating in Euro, comes to a venue like this, the first game in the new stadium, it's big time. It's absolute big time. And then PSG also, I think they came in second in the French league, and they're both storied clubs with huge financial backing, and they're both going to be working very hard over the summer to bring in new names, new players, and hopefully kick off the season after a strong preseason here in the United States.
There's a ground ball to third, and that'll do it. Whitley, thank you for dropping by.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Hiroki Kuroda, 9 up, 9 down. The Mets have not gotten on base against him as the Yankees lead 2-0. Third, you'll check out the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Citi. What's your story? Citi can help you write it. Red Sox lead the Nats 2-0. Steven Strasburg pitching that game for the Nats, which means that the Yankees will probably miss Strasburg. If the schedule stays the same without any radons, the Yankees will miss Strasburg. Granderson won for his last 15. And the count 0-2. Well, Kuroda looks sharp. And the Yankees are up 2-0 as 9 up, 9 down for the Mets. Santana lifetime against the Yankees 5-3 with a 4.18. And the strength of the Met team in the last 16 games has been its starting pitching. The starters 10-2 with a 2.07 during that time. Strike three. Fastball on the inside corner. Granderson's now looking.
You could see Tolley almost off the plate with that glove. And that's a do or die. The old borderline pitch. Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire, says it shaved the black.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Grounded to third. David Wright. 2 outs.
See on the sleeve of the Mets jerseys there, the kid, number 8. Tribute to Gary Carter, tragically taken. Brain cancer. There it is, number 8, the kid. My personal catcher, Michael, in 1988 when I won 20 games with the Mets, and just an unbelievable man, remarkable family, taken from us way too soon. And a nice tribute to the kid there by the Mets on their jerseys.
A lot of the guys from that Met team, which admittedly a bit of a wild bunch. Darryl Strawberry said, I wish we could have been more like him and knew about that then, what we know now.
So true. Strawberry was very emotional at the ceremony, you know, at the memorial for Gary Carter. A class act, both he and his wife Sandy. All I mean, my sympathies certainly go out to the Carter family.
The 1-1. There's the kid jumping on a high fastball against his old team, the Montreal Expos. And he looked like he really enjoyed the game. Hall of Famer. And you pitched to him 52 games in your career to a 3.27 ERA.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer through and through, on and off the field.
Alex walked in the second and scored on Cano's home run. 2-0 Yankees, bottom of the third. Line to left field. It's a base hit. Bay will get the ball in, and Alex picks up a 2-out single.
A lot of talk about Alex's at-bat in the 5th inning against David Price last night. We thought it was a good one, even though he struck out. And he looks good tonight, too. Really balanced. Santana's so tough on lefties, we mentioned, but he's tough on righties, too. That fastball in and changeup combo. Alex beats him to the spot. Trying to come in with the fastball. Alex wins that battle.
Cano drills one deep to right. There it goes again. A 2-run home run for Robinson Cano. And the Yankees lead 4-0.
again. First pitch swinging. This time it's the slider. Cano, no doubt, second deck. You see him almost reaching and hooking that slider. Cano, a great off-speed hitter.
Kevin Long gave it a wow. Swisher upstairs 1-0. So 2 swings, 2 two-run home runs, and a 4-0 Yankee lead thanks to Cano.
Well, Cano's been out early with Kevin Long every day on this homestand, working on being quick inside, and he has just put on a display of hitting ball after ball out of the ballpark.
That one's drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Back-to-back home runs for the Yankees. Swisher with a solo shot. 5-0 Bombers.
Swisher on a 2-0 pitch is dead red, sitting on it. And Swisher loves the fastball, especially when he gets ahead in the count. He does not miss it.
And there's a strike to Andrew Jones.
The late kick, the foot goes down, the hips open up, and the sweet spot of the barrel of that bat.
Count 0-2. Jogging with a smile right there. So what a difference a week makes for Santana. Last Friday, he made history. And the Yankees have clubbed him for 3 home runs in 2 2/3 innings.
Santana's gotten burned with just about every pitch. You know, he threw a slider to Cano, the last home run, fastball to Swisher. Cano's first home run was a fastball.
Last 2 starts, 4 hits, no runs in 18 innings, and you know what he's done tonight. Check swing, did he go? No, said Tim Cheetah.
Almost since the Yankee lineup, all their bats got sped up by David Price, throwing 98 miles an hour last night. The second night in a row they're facing a lefty. We expected Santana to feature more changeups. He's gotten burned with his fastball and then a hanging slider. The Yankees are ready after seeing Price last night.
That one's drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. Back home runs for the Yankees as they are jumping on Santana and lead 6-0. Here's Ibanez, and a strike.
Well, check that. This is the changeup. So back to back on 3 different pitches. The only question there is whether it stay fair. There's the changeup grip, and that's the only one the Yankees haven't hit out until this swing. And it's up, middle. if it gets a bench going more than that kind of a situation. Not only back-to-back, but 3 in a row. Very rare to see that.
Two. Did he check his swing? Yes, he did, said Welke.
First time since May 20th, 2009. Yankees have gone back-to-back-to-back.
Lofted to left field. Bay is there, and that will do it. But not before the Yankees get 4 runs on 3 home runs. A 2-run shot by Cano, a solo shot by Swisher, and then Andrew Jones goes yard. It's been all Yankees for 3 innings. They lead 6-0. Had a chance to attend one of these games in person, which one would you choose? Would it be A, the 2013 All-Star Game at Citi Field, or B, the 2014 Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium? Text A or B to 70377 or go to my9tv.com. Find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota. That's not much of a choice. I kind of think you go to the game that counts, although they say the All-Star Game counts. The 0-1. You know what? Somebody brought up a good point to me. Tony La Russa is managing the National League All-Star team this year because the Cardinals won the World Series. He's retired, so you have a guy who's no longer in the game deciding home court advantage or home field advantage in the World Series. That one's driven deep to left field. Ibanez is there for the first out as Nieuwenhuis is retired. Well, after the inning was over, Santana was greeted by Terry Collins. Wants to know how he's doing. Dan Warthen, the pitching coach, is there as well. And Josh Tolley, the catcher, joins in. And I know most people, David, have said that Terry Collins did the right thing. The 134, it was a no-hitter, a special moment in organizational history. And Sandy Alderson, the GM, said he's down with it. Jeff Wilpon, the owner, said he's down with it. But that guy is going to be worried every time Santana goes out on the mound. Is this a manifestation of those pitches? And he's not being fair to himself. No, you did it, you have to live with it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, anybody in that situation, in that dugout on that particular night with the history of the Mets, leaves that man right there in that game to throw that no-hitter.
That one's chopped slowly to short. Charging his Jeter, he booted it. And that's going to be an error on Jeter. The first base runner for the Mets, Josh Tolley.
Well, take a look at that. You don't see that very often from Derek Jeter.
That's one of his signature plays. It's time for the Tri-State Ford Trivia question, brought to you by your Tri-State Ford dealers. Which Hall of Fame player was the only Mets All-Star during their inaugural 1962 season? Here's David Wright. David flied out to right field in the first inning. Ground ball to A-Rod. There's one. On the first, it's a double play. A-Rod somehow kept his concentration as the barrel of the broken bat was hovering right around his head, his body. 12 batters faced by Kuroda through 4. Player was the only Mets All-Star during their inaugural 1962 season. They had a lot of older time players that were past their prime. They picked up in the draft. Let's see who it was. Richie Ashburn.
Trick question. Good one.
Pitch is outside to Russell Martin. A little surprised that Santana's out there after giving up 4 home runs.
Well, he's that kind of guy. You can see the concern on Terry Collins' face in between innings and the conversation they had. You leave it up to Johan Santana. He's staying in the ballgame. You know, he's that kind of a competitor. Sometimes you have to take those decisions out of your pitcher's hands.
Fly ball right field. Hairston is there. 1 away. Tomorrow night, catch Game 2 of the Subway Series on our sister station, Fox 5. The action starts at 7 p.m., and you don't want to miss a pitch of the hottest ticket in town. Yankees against the Mets. The Subway Series continues tomorrow night at 7 on Fox 5. So 4 home runs by the Yankees against Santana. Coming into this start, he had allowed 4 home runs all year. So the Yankees with 3 home runs, one after the other in the 3rd inning. And Jeter slashes one to right field. Right there is Hairston for the 2nd out.
Oh, just some quick damage tonight. The Yankees, you know, 2 first pitches from Cano, launched into the 2nd deck. A 2-0 pitch to Swisher. He does have 5 strikeouts. He came out, he looked pretty good early. The stuff was there, it was down, but then all of a sudden his pitches started to elevate. You remember what I told you, Michael, after my perfect game, or after my 166 pitch game. First couple innings I was fine, and then after that I really started to feel the effect of it. And that's when I started to get knocked around a little bit. Not sure if that's the case with Johan, but a lot of quick damage.
Hammered foul.
But he does have 5 strikeouts. And early in the game, he looked good in the first couple innings. Now 75 pitches.
1-1. 91 miles an hour, so the fastball's there. Missed outside. Check swing, slow roller, barehanded by Wright, fires to first. What a play by David Wright to get Granderson at first base. That's the only way he could make that play barehanded, and it was not a slow roller. That was not an easy play, and Wright ends the inning. We go to the 5th. Duda will lead off against Kuroda. Yankees lead 6-0. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy all the things you love better. TV, internet, and home phone from Time Warner Cable. June 8, 1969, Yankees celebrate Mickey Mantle Day in New York. They retire number 7, and Mantle and Joe DiMaggio exchange plaques on that day. Great video that day. Great speech by Mickey. The 0-1 to Duda. Tied him up, 0-2. One base runner for the Mets, and that was, there's Mickey with a Yoo-Hoo shirt. And was that a hot dog? Josh Tolley reached on an error by Derek Jeter. 1-2. Well, David, you said that the Yankees need to score some runs for Kuroda, so he finally gets that.
See if he can stand prosperity here. He's been good.
Macy scoreboard, 6-0, Yankees over the Mets.
Even though Kuroda's balls to strikes ratio aren't outstanding. 29 strikes and 22 balls so far, but his off-speed pitches have all been down in the zone.
Good fastball. 2-2. In Kuroda's last 4 starts, the Yankees had scored 6 runs total. So now 6 runs through 4. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Off speed due to way out in front.
Once again, Martin setting up away, looking for the backdoor slider, and it's in a good spot. Down, right on the corner. You see the grip, the turn of the wrist, and then the slow-mo. Right to the glove.
Here's Daniel Murphy. And a strike. Grounded out to first. That was in the second.
Dangerous, dangerous play. Those check swing line drives. You see the players showing some concern as the fan, I think, was hit over there.
Walked it to left field. Ibanez is there, and he'll put it away. Here's Scott Hairston. He grounded out to short in the second. 2 outs here in the 5th. Yankees lead 6-0. 6, 7, and 1. Yankees. And the only base runner for the Mets, the E6 by Jeter off the bat of Tolley.
I wouldn't classify Hiroki Kuroda as a power pitcher, but definitely sneaky quick, up to 93 with that last fastball.
And then the good change of speed.
Interesting to see him pitch with a little confidence of this support, you know. And he's never had much margin for error, both with the Dodgers and so far with his Yankees career.
Shattered bat. A foul ball.
Nope. Kuroda's getting it going when he starts to get that little hesitation in the middle of his delivery as he brings the bat at Scott Hairston there with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Japanese pitchers and their mechanics are known for being very deliberate. So you see Hairston going to use the stick instead of the old pine tar rag. Try to get a little stickiness on his bat. But when Kuroda starts to feel it, he gets a little hesitation in the middle of his windup. Kind of a gather.
The 1-2. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Through 5. Kuroda has not allowed a hit. We're halfway through. Yankees lead the Mets 6-0 here on My 9. official. Bring your challenges. Nissan. Close a great deal now on your new Nissan. Hurry. The door to your opportunity closes July 2nd. And by Time Warner Cable, enjoy all the things you love better. TV, internet, and home phone from Time Warner Cable. The pitch to Teixeira is low. It'll be Teixeira, A-Rod, and Cano on the Macy's scoreboard at 6-0 Yankees. Ground ball to short. Quintanilla puts it away for the first out. The Great Hall here at Yankee Stadium. Bustling with activity before the game. Very cool place. People gather, take pictures. Has a real nice vibe to it. And that's like infinity. TV, looking at a TV, looking at a TV until you can't even see it anymore. Pitch outside to Alex Rodriguez. Alex has scored twice. He walked and came home on Cano's first home run. Then he singled with 2 outs in the third and came home on Cano's second home run. That one's driven out to left center. Neuenhuis is there for the second out. I was going to bring up Robinson Cano. Now, the Yankees on their note sheet actually had it wrong the last time the Yankees went back to back to back. And the actual time they last did it was August 28th of last year in Baltimore. And ironically enough, it was the same 3 players in the same order: Cano, Swisher, and Jones.
That's pretty remarkable. It really is a rare thing to see, especially off of a great pitcher like Santana.
Cano is the first left-handed hitter in Santana's career to have 2 home runs in a game against Santana. Well, that's the first pitch that he's actually taken from Santana tonight.
Don't throw him a strike on the first pitch. Boy, he had a good swing at that one too, right there. 90 miles an hour, trying to go down and away, and it ends up right down the middle. And that shows you the guts of Santana. He doesn't care. He's still going to pitch his game. He still wants to stay in this game. And Cano fouls it straight back. You got to admire Johan Santana. Talking Terry Collins into staying in this game when everybody else probably wanted to take him out. And again, right back at Cano. Santana saying, almost like Catfish Hunter used to say back in the day, oh, let's see you hit a third one then. He's not going to nibble or walk Cano right now. Too much pride, too much guts. Here you go. Let's see how far you hit this one. Twice challenging Cano with fastballs in this at-bat.
Popped up. Daniel Murphy puts it away, and Santana has retired 7 in a row after the 3 straight home runs. We go to the 6-0 Yanks. that you arrive at the stadium early. It's their annual military appreciation game, and there's a comprehensive pregame program plan, including a performance by the Army's Golden Knights parachute team. Ceremonies begin at approximately 6:15 p.m. with the Yankees-Mets game to follow at 7:15. So if you have tickets to the Yankees-Mets game tomorrow, be sure, please, to arrive early. We go to the 6th. Ike Davis swings and misses, and also Nick Swisher is going to be wearing special cleats designed by New Balance to honor the military, and those military-inspired cleats will be auctioned off at auction.steinersports.com for charity. 0-2. Ike Davis, you look at his numbers and you just can't believe he's hitting 160. He does have 5 home runs, but everyone is puzzled by his ineffectiveness. There's been some talk about, would the Mets send him down? And Terry Collins said, no, I'm not going to send him down. But if this keeps up, and without the DH with Jason Bay coming back to make room, they might send him down just to get it back. So he doesn't play against lefties anymore. The 1-2. In spring training, 2 games against the Yankees, he looked great. He had a walk-off home run in Port St. Lucie over the center field wall, and looked like he was poised to have a big year, but not taking it into the season at all. The 2-2. 3-2 to Davis. It'll be Davis, Bay, and Quintanilla.
And it's really been chasing balls out of the strike zone for Ike Davis, and that's sort of natural when you look up there on the scoreboard and you see your average in the mid-100s.
And the 3-2. Foul ball. Elvin Ramirez getting ready for the Mets. Rough night so far for Santana. Strike 3. Davis down looking. Doesn't like the call.
You can see Davis saying that's not a strike. That's not a strike.
Pretty close to a strike.
Russell Martin made it look really good. You see the gloves just off the inside corner where the target is. And that's where the pitch was.
Here's Jason Bay. Grounds it to A-Rod. 2 outs here in the 6th. Kuroda is dealing.
Very sharp. Sharp slider tonight. His splitter's been down and in the dirt. That's where it needs to be. And working with 6 runs certainly helps as well.
Here's Omar Quintanilla. Grounded out to 3rd in the 3rd. .93-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got a good fastball tonight, 0-1. And the pitch.
Kuroda hasn't gotten a lot of credit. He really has been a solid performer. He's got the lowest all-time ERA for Japanese-born pitchers that have pitched in the major leagues. 3.40 career ERA. Number 2 on the list, the great Hideo Nomo. Almost a run higher, 4.24 career ERA for Hideo Nomo. Kuroda, the top of the list.
Two 2-1. 3-1.
That's with a minimum of 50 games started. And Kuroda's father was a professional pitcher as well in the Japanese league. He's certainly got it in his genes. He's been around baseball his whole life.
3-1. 3-2.
Crowd's getting into it. And the payoff. Lined in the left center. A long run, and there's the Mets' first hit. Ibanez fires it in. It is a double for Quintanilla. And a dream of a no-hitter against a guy who pitched a no-hitter ends with that double, and he'll get a nice hand now. When do you start thinking about it, Dave? It would be in the 6th inning?
You could tell the fans were thinking about it.
Right.
That's really, when you're pitching in New York, the fans let you know. Every pitch starts to get cheered a little louder. You see, he just throws a strike down and out over the plate, as he should, with 3 balls. Quintanilla does a good job of hitting it. Just splits the gap. Takes that pitch where it was thrown, the other way.
Pitch to Neuenhuis is low.
See the crowd start to cheer. They're getting into it.
The 1-0. Right in on the hands. Teixeira beats Neuenhuis to the bag, and that'll do it. Well, the Mets fill the column with a hit, but they still don't have a run. Great game so far for Kuroda. Yankees lead 6-0. Verizon Fios. Get Verizon Fios for the internet that can handle everything you do online, no matter how many devices you use. So after a no-hitter, a disappointing 5 innings for Johan Santana, as the Mets will bring in Irvin Ramirez, and we'll also enjoy the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'.
See the numbers. Only 2 games. Not a lot to go on. 2.1 innings. 5 hits, 3 walks. 4 strikeouts. A lot of everything in a short period of time.
All right, David, I'm going to ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, but I'm just asking you in your expertise, your feel.
Was his ineffectiveness today a manifestation of throwing too many pitches his last time out?
I don't think so. I would be reluctant to say that. You'd have to see something more definitive, say a massive drop in velocity, something different with his arm release or his angle. Really looked like maybe he was physically hurting. He wasn't. He had 5 strikeouts. His velocity was the same it's been all year. Maybe his command, obviously. That's the first sign. If there's a little bit of fatigue, the first sign maybe is not quite finishing your pitches and leaving them up out over the plate. But this Yankee lineup can do that to you in a hurry. Cano, 2 first pitch swings, 2 home runs.
Swisher 1 for 2. And Ramirez buzzes him inside.
Now mentally, maybe, as I said, after throwing a no-hitter and the whirlwind tour that he went on, and all the media requests from City Hall to David Letterman.
Now he made this was his 3rd career start at this stadium, and Santana now at this stadium has a 12.21 ERA. So I mean, the first thing is that, well, it's a home run ballpark. Those home runs, I think, go out everywhere. Those were legitimate bombs, every single one of them. .30, and Swisher walks. Get an update on Brett Gardner. He played with Charleston A-ball in Savannah. First at bat, struck out looking. Second at bat, in the 3rd inning, he reached on an error and then stole a base. 3rd at bat, he singled to left. He's leading off and he's playing left field. The talk is that maybe he can get back by the end of the Atlanta series, but probably in D.C., either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And the prevailing thought is that he's going to be back before David Robertson, but David Robertson is not that much far away from him. So let's say he gets back in 5 days. Robertson could get back 8 or 9. And those are 2 important pieces for this Yankee team.
Very important pieces, and also playing in National League ballparks without the DH, you could really use Brett Gardner. There's going to be more pinch hits for the pitcher. Sort of the reverse of the National League teams that play in the American League parks are looking for a bat, like somebody to DH. Conversely, the other way around, you're looking for depth. The extra players become much more important in the National League parks. You're going to see more relievers used. Starters are going to get pinch hit for.
That smells good through the TV. You know the next thing's going to be smell-o-vision, David. We should invent it. (2-1), 3-1.
I can't wait to work with Paulie O'Neill again. Get some food up here.
That's right. We get shut out unless he's here. (3-1), and the count 3-2. Runner goes. Pitch is outside. So 2 straight walks for Elvin Ramirez. And that's a look from the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar out in center field.
Have we had a home run hit off of that glass yet here at Yankee Stadium?
Yes. Russell
Branyan did it, right? Smack off the Mohegan Sun glass. That's a bomb.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. So Ramirez not throwing strikes and certainly not working quickly. Dan Warthen, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with him. It's been all Yankees, 4 home runs in the game, 2 by Cano, 3 in a row in the 3rd inning by Cano, Swisher, and Jones. We told you about the Met bullpen. It just has not been good since May 22nd, sporting an ERA of 6.38. And there's some concerns about a Met team that has done much better than people expected it to, but the bullpen has been dreadful. The defense is not very good. They've had a lot of injuries, and you wonder how long they'll be able to play through that sort of stuff. And then for the fans of the sabermetric numbers, they've been outscored. They have a high batting average with balls put in play, which is above the average that you should have. So it seems like luck has been on their side, and most sabermetricians say, well, luck is going to turn. Ibanez with a high fly ball to right. Hairston makes the catch. And Swisher tags and goes to 3rd. Follow the Yankees with the MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details. Mets have played a lot of this year without their shortstop, who is still out with a calf injury. Ike Davis hasn't hit at all. Josh Tolley missed a month with a concussion. Jason Bay has been out forever with that rib cage injury, and they have persevered, and pitching, starting pitching has done it for them.
That is really the story. Their starting pitchers are dragging them to an over 500 record. Of course, we talked about R.A. Dickey and what a great story he is, and a phenomenal year he's having. Got to be an early candidate to start the All-Star game for the National League, even though we're probably a bit away from making that decision, obviously, but he's on the list.
9 wins, 9-1. Count 2-0.
Coming into this game, you know, the Mets had scored 255 runs and allowed 263 runs. And you see R.A. Dickey, 9-1. Wow, 81 innings, too, so he's eating up innings.
How about the 19 walks? He's throwing the knuckleball for strikes.
Remarkable year. And getting better as the year goes on, it seems.
(3-0). Ramirez having trouble finding the plate.
BaseballReference.com has their Pythagorean win-loss on the Mets. Should be 28-30 based on those numbers I just showed you, where they've allowed more runs than they've scored. So that just shows you starting pitching.
3-1.
And it's not just R.A. Dickey. Obviously, Santana had a rough night tonight, but he's had a phenomenal year in his comeback year. And Jonathan Neese, a good solid lefty. Going to see him on Sunday.
Dylan G. And they lost one of their top 5 starters, Mike Pelfrey. He's out for the year. And wherever you want to place him 1 to 5, he was supposed to get 32 starts this year. So they've really battled through a lot of significant injuries, but every team has. You make the same case for the Yankees, and look at the Red Sox, and they've been ravaged by injuries as well. And that's what happens. That's part of the long baseball season. You are going to suffer injuries, and the team that plays best through them is the one that wins. Runner goes from first, pitches outside, so 3 walks by Elvin Ramirez, and the bases are loaded. So here's Derek Jeter. Derek in the middle of an 0 for 16 slump. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
So do I have to explain what Pythagorean is, Mike, since I dropped that one in there?
If you want to. I mean,
See what Jeter does here with the bases loaded.
Strike, 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Basically mathematical statistics based on how many runs you give up and how many runs you scored. Kind of developed by the godfather of sabermetrics, Bill James. Kind of tells you which teams are a little bit lucky and which ones are unlucky based on average and regression to the mean.
So the Mets would be unlucky with all the injuries they've had, but they'd be lucky when you look at their numbers and how it translates to their record. Four for the last 43 with the bases loaded for the Yankees, but 3 of those 4 home runs.
And you've got to be a bit unlucky to have numbers like that with the bases loaded. I mean, the Mets, the Yankees hit over 400 last year in that same situation. So to have that kind of futility, you can't expect that to last. The old saying on the bench, and old baseball sages used to say, look at the back of my bubblegum card. You know, when you have enough numbers back there at the end of the year, your numbers are going to be pretty close to what your average is on a year in and year out basis. And that number with the bases loaded, abnormally low and will not last, in my opinion.
And for the year, 161 with the bases loaded, 27th in the major leagues. Grounded to short, and that number just went down. So Derek Jeter banks into a 4-6-3 double play, and the Mets survive the 3 walks. Coming up, Tolley, Wright, and Duda. Starts at 7 p.m. as the Bombers battle the Braves. Yankees-Braves, Tuesday at 7 on My 9. Well, we go to the 7th inning. The Mets have just 1 hit against Hiroki Kuroda. A 2-out double in the 6th inning by Omar Quintanilla. And that's it. 1 other base runner reached on an E6. Josh Tolley's ground ball to Jeter. It's 6-0 on the scoreboard, which is brought to you by Acura. Acura Advance. Want to know? Right back to Kuroda. All the way. With David Wright coming up, let's take a look at the league leaders brought to you by Nissan. Close a great deal now on your new Nissan. Hurry, the door to your opportunity closes July 2nd. Melky Cabrera, who'd have thunk it, leads the National League with a .364 batting average, and 5 points behind him is David Wright at .359. Then Joey Votto is in third place. Count 1-0. That's a good-looking photo. Was that from '96, I think?
I believe that was.
At the parade, yeah.
Yeah, Rudy looks kind of young there. And Torrey sporting the hat.
Rudy Giuliani is in the ballpark. There he is.
Saw the mayor down at Yogi Berra's golf tournament that got rained out, unfortunately. The Mayor Giuliani hung around and held court. Loves to talk baseball. Ron Guidry, Ron Bloomberg there, telling stories about the '70s Yankees. Yogi was there too. Nobody cared that we didn't play golf. Everybody sat around and talked to Yogi and talked to Mayor Giuliani.
Ground ball to Jeter. 2 outs. What a performance by Hiroki Kuroda. He really has looked very good tonight. Really nice crowd here at the stadium. I would not be surprised if this is the biggest crowd of the year. A lot of people have poured into the ballpark in the Bronx.
Well, Kuroda's had a great strategy to face this Mets lineup. Very much in attack mode, as we said. You know, Andy Pettitte kind of set the stage. Work fast, throw strikes. Kuroda, the key with him is keeping the ball down, obviously. Prone to giving up home runs with breaking balls up in the zone. He's got 10 ground ball outs tonight. That's a great sign for Kuroda. This Mets lineup collectively, it takes a lot of pitches. You know, they lead the National League in pitches per plate appearance. Lead the National League in walks, but also in strikeouts, as well as strikeouts looking. The Mets very much sort of a sabermetrics driven team. You know, the money ball, high on base percentage, that's the style they're going for. Take a lot of pitches, don't swing at a lot of first pitches, try to get some walks. .208 walks collectively for the Mets this year. That's the first in the National League. Also 463 strikeouts to go with all those looking at pitches, which is the second most. Kind of goes hand in hand.
And Duda walks. First walk of the night by Kuroda. If you just joined us, Yankees with 2 in the second on a Cano 2-run home run. First hit allowed by Santana after his no-hitter a week ago at Citi Field. And then they exploded in the third, a single by A-Rod, a 2-run home run by Cano again, then a solo shot by Swisher and a solo shot by Jones. 3 in a row for the Yanks. And it's been 6-0 since that point as Murphy fouls it away. Right to Alex Rodriguez. He had to wait too long for it to come down. And Kuroda, I guess he caught it on the fly. It never hit the ground. So Kuroda walks off. He knew that it went straight up in the air. And you score that. I guess it's a 1-5. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Looks like he's limping just a bit. It hit him square, but the Yankees lead 6-0. We'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. For the Yankees, all that damage right there. Cano with 2 home runs, Swisher a solo home run, Andrew Jones a home run, and that's all the scoring, 6 runs. 5, 6, and 7 in the order. All right, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Granderson, Teixeira, and A-Rod. Granderson is 0 for 3, and he's 1 for his last 17. The top of the Yankee order of late has really not done that much. Jeter is 0 for his last 17, and Granderson is 1 for his last 17. But still, it hasn't stopped them from winning series and winning games. All right, you wonder how Kuroda is. He really got hit here, David.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that's hit. Direct hit, but the ball's up in the air. You ever play hacky sack? It's like a hacky sack move, except the baseball's a lot harder than a hacky sack. And he's limping right away. He's going to be out of this game as the Yankee bullpen is up and running.
Cody Epley. I thought for a moment that it hit the ground first, and then they started running off the field when A-Rod caught the ball. So it hit him square and then straight up in the air. Accurate scoreboard, 6-0 Yanks. That clipped him. I think. Or was that ball 4? Let's see if it got him. No, I think it was ball 4 though. Well, the umpire didn't make any hand motion, so we'll set. Although Granderson was looking at his arm.
Possible.
Well, we'll see how it scored. I believe that was a 3-1 pitch. You, David?
Yes.
And it's going to be scored a walk. And there's a strike. Line into right field. It's a base hit. Hairston cuts over, can't get to it. Goes up against the scoreboard. Granderson is going to stop at third. It's a double for Teixeira.
Well, Teixeira has talked about the style, reaching out and going ahead and pulling pitches and stop trying to go the other way. That's how you beat the shift. You hit a bullet right in the gap. You see the Mets are employing the shift that Tampa Bay's made sort of notorious for Mark Teixeira. Teixeira just said, I'm going to stop looking at that shift and just pull the ball and hit the ball hard. And when you hit the ball hard like that, you don't have to worry about a shift.
Well, they announced the attendance, 48,566, and it's only the second sellout of the year here at the stadium. You get a feeling the buzz around these games that tomorrow will be the 3rd and Sunday will be the 4th. Infielders in as Alex lofts one to right center. Neuenhuis is there, tagging is Granderson. Catch is made. The throw comes into third, cut off by Quintanilla. It's a sac fly for A-Rod. Granderson scores, 7-0 Yanks. Alex Rodriguez with that ribby is now at 1,916 runs batted in. 8th place all time. 1 away from Eddie Murray. Here's Cano. With one swing in the second inning, Cano kind of changed the tenor of this night. That's the first one. That made it 2-0. Then in the 3rd inning, both first pitch. It goes into the second deck. But up to that point, before he hit that home run, Dave, everybody's thinking, oh, he had a no-hitter last game. Look, he looks pretty sharp, and you let your mind wander. But that quickly ended with those home runs, or that first one at least.
Cano with a big night. That's Robbie, you know, and Santana coming in is very aggressive, but you know Robinson Cano is a great first pitch fastball hitter. And that's what he got the first home run, and Santana tried to counter that with the slider in the second at bat, but left it up and out over the plate.
Right in on the hands. I'm sure that Stevie Donahue, the trainer, is filling Joe Girardi in on Kuroda's status.
That would be a bit concerning until you know if Kuroda's going to be okay, because that was a rocket off of his foot. Any foot injury for a pitcher, very dangerous. You throw with your arm, but you land with your feet. And if you don't have balance below you, that's when you can hurt your arm.
And That is Hiroki's interpreter. There are some smiles there, so you're hoping that it's not terrible news. And the count 2-2. Miguel Batista up in the Mets bullpen. And now the count is full.
Cano's got his own milestones going too. You don't think of Robinson Cano as climbing up a milestone list, but he's been a doubles machine. Already has 306 doubles in his career, and 3 more. He's going to tie Earl Coombs for 13th place on the Yankees all-time list.
Mick Kelleher had a low bridge to avoid being hit.
Robbie Cano with 20 doubles so far this year after having 46 last year. You see that list right there. Pretty young in his career to be on that list. Back up, Mick. Remember when the coaches were first made to wear helmets? A lot of them barked about it. Now you don't see any complaints. Just back up and keep wearing the helmet. First base coaches and third base coaches have a lot of responsibility. They got to watch the defense and the base runners, and those line drives are hit hard. You see Robbie Thompson's not even looking at the hitter. Of course, with the lefty up, maybe not as worried, but he's pretty close. Line drive right at him. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that these coaches are wearing helmets.
Mike Davis bobbles, but grabs it with the bare hand for the second out. Moving to third, Mark Teixeira. Swisher from the right side with his solo home run in the third inning.
Talked about Swisher's approach this year, and trying to do more damage, trying to be more aggressive. Notoriously coming from Oakland, and Billy Beane, the famous GM out there, Moneyball movie. Swisher was a 100 walk a year guy. Much different approach this year.
You know what? The A's have a much different approach too. They don't play Moneyball anymore. They bunt, they run, try to create things. Moneyball worked very well with Hudson, Mulder, and Tito.
Great point.
And they were practicing Moneyball here with Stick Michael as the GM before Michael Lewis got a hold of that story and made a great book out of it, because that's how Gene Michael rebuilt the Yankees, getting guys with high on-base percentage, guys that took pitches, worked the count.
Well, Nick Swisher had 95 walks last year in 150 games. In 50 games this year, just 16.
Three and one. Elvin Ramirez in his second inning of work in relief of Johan Santana. Hammered down the right field line. It is a base hit, and it bounces into the seats. Teixeira will score. It's an RBI double for Swisher, and it's 8-0 Yankees.
And that's the trade-off. 50% of all Nick Swisher's hits are extra bases. He's hitting more doubles this year. So you walk less, you get more aggressive. This is the payoff. You're looking for more damage.
Not much change with the ball bouncing into the stands. Swisher probably would have been at second anyway, and Teixeira scores easily. Here's Andrew Jones. Well, you have to be alert as the catcher with Ramirez. He is all over the place. Throws hard, too. Fouled straight back here and under our booth. Count 2-1. It's been all Yankees since the second inning. First game of 6 between these two teams. First 3 at Yankee Stadium, and then a couple of weeks from now it'll shift to Citi Field. Base hit left field. Swisher around third. He'll score easily. It's an RBI single for Andrew Jones. And the Yankees are pouring it on. They lead 9-0. Terry Collins comes out to get Ramirez.
Turns into a real nice night for Andrew Jones after the booming home run. Picks up another RBI, another good at bat.
So Collins signals to the bullpen, wants some help with Ibanez due up. Yankees up 9-0. of that adds up to 9-0 Yankees. Bronx Bombers out in force. They took any thought of Johan Santana possibly matching Johnny Vandermeer's feat of 2 straight no-hitters out of the equation right away in the second inning. And now the Mets are on to their third pitcher, the veteran Miguel Batista.
Had some starts in there as well. 4 starts to go with 15 appearances.
So Elvin Ramirez struggled. And now Batista will work on Ibanez with a runner on first base and 2 outs. They are not holding the runner on, so the Mets are pretty much sending the white flag up here in the 7th inning. And a strike. And that's pretty much the rules they play by now in baseball. I'll keep running if you're going to hold on. But if you're going to play back, I'm not going to embarrass you, and I'm not going to run no matter what the lead is. And the Mets are pretty much surrendered by playing Ike Davis back.
And Andrew Jones, the veteran, should do just what he's doing. Stay right there.
Popped up. Quintanilla will make the play, and that will do it. But the Yankees score 3 more runs, and it looks like the train might be leaving the station for the Mets. We go to the 8th inning. Yankees up 9-0. The Mets don't like the way that looks. Omar Quintanilla, a double with 2 outs in the 6th inning. That is the only hit for the Mets. Josh Tolley reached on an E6 and a walk to Lucas Duda. The Mets have had just 3 base runners. Some changes for the Yankees. Dwayne Wise takes over for Curtis Granderson in center. I'll tell you why that's significant in a moment. Jason Nix plays shortstop for Derek Jeter. And the new pitcher for Hiroki Kuroda is Cody Epley. 15th game for Epley as he relieves Kuroda, and we have not had any word yet on Kuroda's possible injury on the comebacker. Off the bat of Murphy, hit him on the foot. We have not yet heard He limped off the mound. Final out of the 7th inning. There's a strike. As we move along, we'll get the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Audi, Truth in Engineering. Anyway, it's significant that Dwayne Wise takes over in center field because Curtis Granderson, up to this point, had played every inning of every game for the Yanks. Hairston pops it up. Nix tried out immediately. Makes the play in fair territory for the first out. Curtis is not used to spectating.
It's a lousy 2 innings off. We'll be back in there tomorrow.
Yankee starters have been outstanding. This is the 7th straight game that the Yankee starters have gone 7 innings or more. Ike Davis's struggles continue. He is 0 for 3 with that ground ball to second. And Kuroda, the last in that line, or the next in that line, 7 innings, just 1 hit, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and 91 pitches. That's about as solid as he's looked as a Yankee.
A good spot, too, against the crosstown rival. His record with an extra day's rest is going to go probably to 5-1. And that ERA may be under 1. Depending on, do some quick calculation. I got Ryan Brucco next to me here. The budding superstar radio personality. Maybe I put him on a project here.
Jason Bay had been on the DL since April 24th with a non-displaced fracture of a rib on the left side. It had been a long time. He was actually reactivated a couple of days ago, but because he was battling the flu, had not played in the lineup tonight, and so far 0 for 2. There's a lot of concern on the Mets side because the Mets have been doing so well. Jason Bay has done nothing but struggle in his first 2 years with the Mets. Makes a lot of money. Almost have to play him, but he's got to turn it around. He's got to start hitting. Such a good hitter with the Red Sox, before that with the Pirates. But after signing that big free agent deal with the Mets, just hasn't done much. Two-two. Driven out to deep right center, but Dwayne Wise got a good jump, and he'll haul it in for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Russell Martin's going to start it off.
tables and grilling Michael Kay. His most memorable call and why it reminds him of a Brady Bunch episode on the Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight on the 10 o'clock news on My 9. About time somebody put you on the hot seat.
It's an unbelievable expose. You'll find things out that you really don't care about. New pitcher for the Mets, it's John Roush, fourth pitcher used by the Mets. And Vinny Rotino will take over at third base for the Mets as well. Ground ball is short. Quintanilla. One away. There was some concern about Roush. His last game, he did not pitch well and then went to get his elbow checked out and had some loose particles in the elbow. And they gave him a couple days rest. He actually didn't go to D.C. with the team when they played the Nats, and here he is on the mound, so they're testing it out.
Yeah, eventually you got to go in and get those loose particles out, depending on where they lodge. They can move around on you. If they lodge against a nerve or a ligament, then it can cause problems. I've had a couple of former teammates that got the loose particles out and made a necklace out of them, Michael.
Really? Some of them are really big, right?
Sinker slider bone chips, yes. Take the bone chips out, you make a nice little piece of jewelry. Depending on your taste, obviously.
We told you a new third baseman, Vinny Rotino, takes over for David Wright. And there's a new second baseman as well, Jordani Valdespin. Nix fouls it back. Nix came in to play shortstop in the top of the inning, so he's hitting where Jeter had been penciled in, leadoff spot for the Yanks. Jeter was 0 for 4 tonight. And there's a picture of Derek at the old ballpark at the Legend Suite, and a Met fan being smart. Foul back.
What do you call that, a video bomb? That's not exactly a photo bomb, right? It's a video bomb.
I guess. Innocent enough. Ryota Igarashi warm for the Yankees. That one is popped up shallow center. It's going to find grass. A base hit for Nix. Sunday night, it's Big Laughs. 60 million years in the making. Don't miss 4 back-to-back episodes of The Big Bang Theory. Sure, they may be smart, but 2 hours of comedy like this is just plain genius. The Big Bang Theory, Sunday night starting at 8 p.m. here on My 9. Aside, if you've never seen that show, one of the best shows on TV.
Hilarious.
Well written, well acted, tremendous. Here's Dwayne Wise, his first at bat. Replaced Granderson, who was 0 for 3 with a walk. Oh and 1. Ground ball to second. There's 1, and there's 2. So a 4-6-3 double play. Last legs coming up for the Mets. Can they make up a 9-0 deficit? to attend one of these games in person, which one would you choose? Is it A, the 2013 All-Star Game at Citi Field, or B, the 2014 Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium? Text A or B to 70377 or go to my9tv.com. Find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota. New pitcher for the Yankees, Ryota Igarashi, and he's on the roster because Freddie Garcia is not here because of being on the bereavement list. His grandmother passed away, so he's not with the team, and you're allowed to bring up a player in his place, and that is Ryota Igarashi. And Ryota, in his Mets career, 2010-2011, 5-2, 5.74 in 79 games. And he was acquired off waivers by the Yankees this year in May. Designated for assignment by Toronto. And there's a strike to Quintanilla. 9-0 Yankees. Quintanilla, the only hit for the Mets. A clean double to left center field between Ibanez and Granderson, and that's it. Otherwise, it'd be a lot more buzzing in the crowd right now. And you wonder if Kuroda would have limped through a couple more innings. Count 2-1.
Well, it was a clean hit. As you see, Eric Chavez now taking over third. Quintanilla hit a laced a double in the gap, so no doubter for the hit.
And it almost seemed to be a case, David, you would know better. 3-2 count, and he said, I have a big lead, I'm not walking.
Yeah, throw the ball away to a left-handed, presumably, not a big power guy. He just split the gap.
And Igarashi issues a walk.
What you're supposed to do, got a little lefty up there, get him to hit the ball in the air to Death Valley, and hopefully somebody runs it down. Unfortunately, Brett Gardner's not ready to play your left field yet. He might have had that in his hip pocket.
Igarashi becomes the 113th player to play for both the Mets and the Yankees, and my broadcast partner, one of the previous 112. A couple of my broadcast partners, Al Leiter as well.
I remember seeing Igarashi pitch with the Mets, but I don't remember him throwing this hard. He might be a little pumped up tonight. Been 93 and been as high as 96 with that fastball tonight.
Who's that, Dave?
Well, that's wicked stuff right there. I don't recognize that guy anymore. I don't even know that guy anymore.
Or do you not remember that guy?
Well, yeah, there's definitely some fuzzy areas in there. No doubt about it.
"113 players now have played for both teams. There have been 13 trades between the two teams. First game was June 16th of 1997. Mets won that one 6-0. Regular season series 49-35, and the Yankees won the only World Series between the two teams in 5 games. Swing and a miss. Neuenhuis down on strikes. Santana made news last Friday by pitching the first no-hitter in Met history, but David threw 2 complete game 1-hitters and 2 complete game 2-hitters while with the Mets. What's the latest you went?
2 outs in the 8th.
Who broke it up?
Steve Jeltz, Father's Day, 1988. 0-2 pitch.
Not that you remember.
It's a little fuzzy.
Was it a good pitch?
Should have been better. Tried to come up in it on a fastball, left it on the plate a little bit. He fisted it over Kevin Elster's head, who was brought in as a defensive replacement. late in the game. Davey Johnson, then the manager, breaking the code of leave the same lineup out there. Don't change anything when you got something special going on. But he was trying to help me out. He put our best defensive shortstop in the game late.
And Elster could pick it.
Elster was very good.
One, two. When you were with the Mets, would you say that was when you had your best stuff?
Yes.
Just nasty, filthy stuff?
Without a doubt, yes. I threw harder. My first 6 years with the Mets definitely had much more crisp velocity on everything.
Grounded foul, broken bat for Tolley.
Well, we used to use the old ray gun. You know, nowadays everybody uses the jugs gun, or people talk about pitch fix technology now with high-speed cameras that track the pitches and give you the speed ratings. And we had the old ray gun that used to register about 3 to 5 miles an hour lower than what you see today in today's game in the jugs gun. And I probably was 91 to 93 on that old Rays gun. Probably sat at about 92, which would be 94, 95 by the jugs guns of today.
Just got word on Kuroda. They took x-rays of his left foot, and the x-rays were negative, and he has a left foot contusion. So Joe Girardi breathing a sigh of relief. Did I say Joe Torre breathed a sigh of relief? I don't think he has a dog in the fight anymore. Joe Girardi breathed a sigh of relief. So there's 113 players that played for both teams, and there's 2 managers that manage for both teams, Casey Stengel and Joe Torre. You know what? There's 3 in Dallas Green.
That's right. You know, Casey Stengel was ahead of his time. You know, I've talked a lot about, I mentioned Kuroda's extra days rest. Casey Stengel did that with Whitey Ford back in the day. He used to hold Whitey Ford back to pitch against the #1 starters, or give him a couple extra days rest and line him up with the matchups that he wanted.
We left out another manager, David, Yogi Berra.
That's right. Tonight after the game, my Nines turning the tables and grilling Michael Kay, his most memorable call, and why it reminds him of a Brady Bunch episode. On the Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight on the 10 o'clock news on My 9. Kay on the hot seat.
Luckily, they did not grill me about managers that manage the Mets. Another thing that Casey Stengel was kind of ahead of the curve with, he was platooning way before people did that all the time. I mean, he was a strict platoon. He would pinch hit for somebody in the first inning before the guy even came to bat if there was a pitching change.
So I remember with the Mets, Frank Howard managing the Mets did that to Jose Oquendo in the first inning one time, batting 8th. Called upon Rusty Staub, who was up in the clubhouse at the time, who was the Mets pitch hitter extraordinaire. Rusty didn't think it was going to happen. The Mets were struggling. They got the bases loaded in the first inning. Jose Oquendo's playing shortstop, batting 8th. Oh, come on back, kid. Go get Rusty. Jose Oquendo went right to the end of the pinch and started crying.
Really?
True story.
And you couldn't really argue with Hondo.
No, Frank Howard. Wow. Mountain of a man.
And one of the sweetest guys you'd ever meet. The 0-2 to Valdespin. He strikes out looking. Mets down to their final out.
Excellent movement on this pitch. Starts off outside and it's got a little cut on it. 90 miles an hour. Igarashi's got a good arm. You can see why he keeps getting chances. He's been up to 96 miles an hour on the top end of his fastball. A little 90-mile-an-hour cutter there, right on the black.
Here's Lucas Duda. And a strike. And another strike. Ninth inning, Yankees 9-0. Mets down to their final strike. And the 0-2. Served in the left field. It is a base hit. And there goes the shutout. 1 run scores. And they're going to hold up Tolley. It is a double for Duda and RBI. The Mets are on the board. And the Yankee lead is now 9-1. Only the second base hit for the Mets. And that'll bring up Vinny Rotino. Strike. $97 miles an hour. Right back to Igarashi. That'll do it. Yankees win 9-1. In the ninth, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. And the Mets managed just 2 hits against the New York Yankees. 2 home runs for Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher had 1. Andrew Jones had 1. And the Yankees solved the serves of Johan Santana, who had pitched 2 successive shutouts and a no-hitter his last time out. When Cano connected on the 2-run home run in the second, everything turned in the Yankees' favor. We've got so much more to come. We've got awards to give out. We'll break down everything that happened in this game, and then we'll toss it to Russ Salzberg to give you all the highlights as well. Yankees win this one 9-1.